Hello, amazing teachers. I'm here to share with you a powerful tool that you can create using Google Forms. It's called a morning check-in. How is your day starting off? As you can imagine, in our world today, this can be powerful. It's a way for your children to feel important and to develop that bond with your students, and so they feel that they are a part of the classroom just as they normally would be. And you can also gain information so that you can make great decisions about each and every one of your children. So this is what it will look like. You can see it has a great header, and you can see that it has directions as your day begins. Please complete the questions below to let me know how you're doing. It starts by asking their first and last name. How are you feeling today with emojis? It's a multiple choice question. Then we have a short answer where it says, do you have anything to tell me? This can be about school or life. Another multiple choice, were you able to find your work today? Do you need any help getting started? And ending with, what questions do you have about your assignments? So what a quick, efficient way to gain information and reach out to your students. Let's go ahead and I will take you step by step in how to develop this morning check-in using Google Forms. The first thing that you'll do is you will go to your Drive, and you will go ahead and go to your Waffle Drive, and at your Drive you will be choosing Google Forms. Go ahead and go to the plus sign, More, Google Forms. Okay, now we're ready to start. Let me get rid of this one, and we're modeling this one. Let's go ahead and do some copying and pasting to make it go quick. So there's a great title for this form, and that's what you'll see when you see your form on the Drive. So you want to make it a title that is a way for you to recognize it and maybe save it in a folder and reuse it. Let's go ahead and see what our title is, just beginning of the day check-in. So let's get rid of copy. Okay, as far as description, it starts out with just as your day begins, connect with me. Then it says email address. I'm going to click change settings, and I am going to say no to collecting email. That's up to you. It is a default question that will automatically pop up. I will get the results and I will know who it is because their name will be identified. Notice the first question is first and last name. So it says untitled question. Over here is a power bar. We are going to do the first question will be their name. We are going to go to this drop down right here, and we are going to choose that it is not a multiple choice, but rather a short answer. And I'm going to go ahead and type the question, first and last name. And the students will enter that right there. Again, we added the question right here from this power strip, the plus sign. We toggled down to short answer as the style of question. And let's go ahead and take a peek at how we're doing with modeling this. This is the first section. So it looks like it's the entire section. We're not going to do separate sections. So let's go ahead and just keep going. We're going to say that this is required. Now, if we wanted sections, we would go to this equal sign, and notice it says add section. That would divide it with a bar to indicate that this is a different topic or a different type of question style. So let's just keep it as all one section. And now we are ready for our next question. Let's click it. And notice here we have a choice. Do we want it multiple choice? Or do we want check boxes drop down? We could even upload something there. At this point, let's keep it at multiple choice. And we're going to say, how are you feeling today? Our options, we will click and we will look at ready to work, happy, things like that. Let's go ahead and say happy. And then notice I can choose, this is an add image icon. I could choose it here, but I want it to go with this response. So I'm going to choose the add image here rather than here. So I'm going to choose add image. I've already downloaded some emoji feeling images, so I know they're ready to go. I'm going to browse, and it's right in my pictures folder, and happy, I'm going to choose that one. And notice it puts it right in there. Then with my second option, I'm going to go ahead and say, oops, I have to hit enter. Sometimes you need to hit enter in order to go to the next question. You just can't move the mouse. So we are going to go ahead and think about this. Let's put confused. Let's go ahead and add an image. We're going to upload it. And I've got a confused image. And it popped it right in there. Let's go ahead and hit enter, and let's say angry. Let's get an image. I'm going to browse, and I have got angry. Open, and there it is. Let's go ahead and let's do sad. So I'm going to say sad, upload an image, browse it, and is that sad? No, that's sad. Open, and we're ready to go. Now, I am not assigning points to this. I didn't make it a quiz. I'll show you in a minute how you could make something like this a quiz and assign points, but obviously, you don't want to assign points to a morning check-in where they're just kind of telling you their feelings and what's going on. So we are just going to require this. We're going to go ahead and click require, and then we will add a plus sign for the next question. Let's take a peek after the multiple choice of feelings. It says, do you have anything to tell me? I'm going to go ahead and copy that about school life or home life. So I'm going to go ahead and notice this says paragraph. I could choose paragraph or short answer. I'm going to go ahead and choose short answer rather than paragraph, just so I can get to the point and deal and respond quickly. So this one is done. I'm going to require it. Let's go back and let's see. This is multiple choice, very simple. I'm copying and pasting. I'm going to add a question. I'm going to paste the question. Notice it is a default for it to go to multiple choice when you add a question. So we can say option 1 is yes, option 2 is no. Very simple. We're going to require this question before they can go to the next question. And let's see, do you need any help getting started? Let's skip that. Let's go. What questions do you have about your assignments? Go ahead and go back and let's add a question. We're going to paste this, and we don't want a whole paragraph. Maybe you do. I'm going to say short answer. Okay, at this point, it looks good, except we are missing this beautiful color and opening, and what we would call the header. So let's pull back to the top and kind of look at these tools. This is for a customized theme or a header. It's a paint palette. So let's go ahead and check that. Let's choose an image. You could download a header. There's free headers that you could download and then upload it. If maybe a picture of your classroom would be awesome, or a view. Let's just go ahead and choose one, insert it. Once that pops up, the theme colors for the borders in the background will match the colors that are in your header, which is pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and choose a background of blue, and I'm going to leave the font style as basic. So I'm going to X that out. We just went to customize theme. This is to preview. I'll show you that in a minute. This is a settings gear. So let's touch settings, and there are 3 settings that you need to be aware of: general, presentation, and quizzes. Let's start with general. I don't want to collect email addresses. I don't want to limit to 1 response because I may want my students to take this several days over a course of weeks. Respondents can edit, see summary. No, I'm not concerned about, it's not like a quiz where they'll have right or wrong answers. Presentation, they don't need a progress bar, don't need to shuffle the questions, and I really don't want them to submit another response. No. So let's move on. Let's go to quizzes. You don't need to answer anything on this because this is not a quiz. If it was a quiz, we would be talking about how to grade it, how to identify points, things like that. It's not. So we're just going to leave this as nothing. Now that we've done the 3 settings, we can go ahead and save what we've identified for the settings. I just want to peek over here. I did not show you this drop down of more. You can undo something, very useful. You can get a link for students and place that link in Google Classroom or on your particular platform that you might be using. You can add collaborators, other teachers to help so that they can see this, make sure they make a copy so they have their own copy and you're not getting their students' results along with yours. So some things that you can do in the drop down. At this point, let's go ahead and look at this. This is an eyeball, and it is a command that will allow you to, takes you to another tab so that you can see what the students will actually see when they open this. So they would start with their first and last name. They would check how they're feeling. They would tell something about this, yes and no. They would ask you a question and submit it. Done. Notice this is a separate tab. I have to go back to my original tab. And notice this says questions and responses with a 1. This is your original. You want to check what the students had to say. And you simply go to responses. 1 student has responded. I am still accepting responses. And notice there are 3 ways that I can view the responses. As a summary, which will show me a pie chart. It'll divide the first question into a pie graph with all of the chosen possible answers identified by colors. We only did 1, so we're not seeing much. But you can see it will go question by question, and it will do a group chart, whether that's a bar, line, or circle graph. You can also look at it question by question. There were 5 questions. So how are you feeling today was question 2, and I can see all the responses from question 2. I like individual for this because you can look how each individual child responded. And from that point, you can decide if you want to send them an email, how you would like to keep in touch with your children and respond to their responses. Notice that you can also go up to this icon, which is Google Sheets. And we can create a new spreadsheet, since this is the first time we've looked at this. Once you start looking at several responses, you don't have to choose a new spreadsheet. And so Google automatically puts the timestamp, the name, and the answers for each question is a different column. And so you can even kind of do a summary of how are you feeling. Most of my students are feeling this way. What questions do you have? Are there similar questions? Are there students that I could group together to differentiate and to respond to them because they're all feeling the same way? So what a great tool for you to be able to keep in touch with your children and touch their hearts and keep developing those bonds. I hope you learned some great things on beginning a daily, beginning of the day check-in.